Hello and welcome back to Carrying On, a channel where I talk about records, music, and all things to do with vinyl. Coming from here, sunny Thailand. My name is Julian, and today I'm going to carry on about some records I recently bought in South Thailand, in South Thailand's only record shop. So obviously it is the best record shop as well in South Thailand. It's called Nusantara and it's in Songkhla. I talked about this record shop last year, actually, when I went there just over a year ago and raved about this shop. And I had to go back again this year. I had to, of course, drag the family down a few hundred kilometers to a lovely place anyway. So it's a nice place to go on holiday. But there is the bonus of the record shop in Songkhla's Old Town. Now, Songkhla is a small town close to a big city called Had Yai, but Songkhla is actually the capital of the province here in South Thailand. You can have a look for it on Google Maps. It's a nice location by the sea with a lake and with a lovely old town. And this record shop, Nusantara, is located right in the middle of that old town area. So a nice old building run by a couple, Thai guy and his Malaysian wife, who I met again, his wife, there in the record shop. And it happened to be actually on a record store day. I hadn't planned that at all. And they weren't really doing anything particularly special for record store day, but they had one or two discounts and stuff. And the shop was actually pretty busy, which is always good to see that there are some people like me making the trip there, the pilgrimage there, really, to the only record shop in hundreds of kilometers. It's a bit of a desert, but this is an oasis for record lovers. Uh, so anyway, what did I find there? Well, I did buy five records, and I'm really happy with what I bought there actually. Let's have a look at them, shall we? This first one is by a band, Japanese jazz funk band called Native Son. Didn't know much about these before, kind of attracted by the cover. It was also Thai New Year when I was down there, so it was the time when the water fights happened. So I thought a rather topical cover. But they have a little um, hi-fi, have a turntable and hi-fi in the shop, so I could play this in the shop, and I just immediately really liked it. It's really funky jazz funk. It's just so easy to listen to. Japanese, as I said. Takahiro Honda is playing the Fender Rhodes and other synths. There's a sax player, electric guitar, electric bass, and drums. And it sounds great, mainly instrumental jazz funk. And yeah, I've feel like I've only scratched the surface of all these records in a way. I've played them a few times, but this one keep coming back to. Really enjoyable. This record, Native Son. So that's the first one. And the second one here is Mark Colby and an album called One Good Turn. Yeah, this one, I did a bit of research on this. Never heard of it before, but this, and there's two albums. There's another one in a series he made with a great list of collaborators. This is a lovely gatefold here that opens up, as you can see. And the list of artists on this record is quite impressive. Mark Colby himself, um, and also Bob James, of course, the famous producer, Eric Gale, Steve Gadd on the drums, the famous jazz fusion drummer, Gary King and Steve Kahn. So a bit of a kind of like a jazz fusion, smooth jazz fusion, 1970s supergroup. Really, this, which I didn't know much about, but yeah, it's a it's a really great record. The first song on side one, Scat Talk, is great. It's got a really nice, like, funky vibe, low bass vibes, really well recorded. To got on here, Mark Colby on the sax and doing some scat vocals. Gary King on the bass, of course. There's a guitar player. Fender Rhodes, Moog, drums, percussion. Yeah, this is my kind of thing. This is right up my street from mid 70s. I'm sure I've got the year on here actually, but I'm going to guess kind of mid 70s, maybe 1976, something like that. But yeah, right in that kind of peak jazz fusion era. Mark Colby, One Good Turn. In great condition. All these records actually in great condition. I mean, I'd say pretty much mint. But this one's, yeah, cool cover as well, isn't it? Yeah, nice bit of artwork. Really enjoyed this one. I keep coming back to it. All of these are kind of records you want to keep scratching that itch. They're good records. This one's actually a best of compilation by Sadao Watanabe. I have bought one of his records before, actually. And he's again Japanese. They do have quite a few Japanese records in their shop, Nusantara. And this is yeah, quite a well-known 1970s. I mean, he went into 80s as well, I think. 80s, 90s maybe, Sadao Watanabe. But this is a great compilation, a great introduction for someone like me who doesn't know a lot of these tunes. A really cool gatefold. Look at that as well. There he is in repose on a bed, and he's playing the alto sax throughout. So now Dave Grusin on the keyboards. So he gets some big names. Marcus Miller on the bass, Buddy Williams, and arranged by Dave Grusin. This was actually from March 1980, so just on the cusp of the. Oh, so yeah, I noticed that one actually that was eight. The first track was 1980, then it goes back to 79, 78, 77. Yes, of course, because it's the greatest hits. So it's from that late 70s period that we're getting these this compilation of eight tracks, starting with Nice Shot, Down East, which is from one album, which I've also picked up as well. But yeah, this is yeah, he's a little on the, a little bit funky, a little bit smooth, certainly easy to listen to, and a really good compilation, very well recorded as well. So that's three down, two to go. Um, and we have David Collini, Mad Shadows. Knew nothing about this guy before. I did a bit of research and found out that he was a student, I think, maybe in the early 80s in New York, and he finally got to make this his first proper album, I think, Mad Shadows. And yeah, I mean, I think he's still going. I think he kind of carried on and had a career as an artist, as a session player, maybe. But this is the album which I think some collectors like to try and find, and I found it, and I had a chat to the owner actually, and she said that she found it in a huge pile of records I think in Penang in Malaysia, where she goes back to do some record hunting sometimes. But yeah, this is a really cool album. They're all original compositions by him. So it's really his album, him striking out into the world of original jazz composition. And yeah, it's a really great record. Yeah, composed, arranged, and produced by David Collini. And yeah, so he's on the piano, Rhodes, percussion. So piano based, really nice, really nicely produced, really nice balanced production. It doesn't sound like it hasn't got some kind of weird 1980s kind of harsh drum machine or anything like that. This is all acoustic instruments, guitar, vibes, drum, and bass with some really interesting melodies. I think yeah, quite an original record. This was sticking out on its own, I think, at the time when it's released in 1987. I mean, 1987, not a great time, really, not a vintage year for jazz. I mean, how many really great records, jazz records, were made in 1987? But this one stands out because it's doing its own thing. Original material, really well recorded, on acoustic instruments. It's kind of timeless and still sounds great. Yeah, I really like this one. And last one was a pickup from the bargain bin, but this is not bargain bin material. This is a great album by Cleo Lane, but I got this for a bargain, like a couple of dollars. Born on a Friday. And actually, I did notice I looked for all five of these records on Spotify, and none of them were there. And there's a certain satisfaction. There's a smug satisfaction for record collectors when they realize none of the records they bought are on Spotify. And so sorry, you can dig around on YouTube, but on Spotify, no, they're not there. Even this one, which I was surprised, is not there. And it's a really good record. This one by Clear Lane, really nicely recorded. Not thin, not tinny. He's got a really great collection of tunes on here as well. Come Back to Me, Sunday. Do You Really Want Him? Yeah, I really enjoy this record. A really nice collection of there are strings on here, violins, violas, celli, plural of cello. There we go. But it doesn't feel overladen with strings. This is a kind of a pop soul jazz kind of crossover record. But yeah, it's definitely produced by George Martin. I hadn't noticed that before. I hadn't looked at that closely before. In 1975, recorded at Essex Studios. Yeah, in summer and autumn 1975. Great record. Great, great to hear Cleo Lane. Really playing at times. Yeah, this was quite a modern album released for lovers of pop, soul, and jazz in that time. I'd have thought in 1975, and yeah, it stands the test of time. Still sounds great. This record, Born on a Friday. So there we go. Five great records from uh, South Thailand's best and only record shop, Nusantara. So that's all I have for today. I will be back again soon, actually, because I did another trip to Bangkok last week, and so I have another five records actually. So come back for more, subscribe, and come back for more next week when I will be talking about five records I bought in record shops in Bangkok, in the big metropolis, where they have a lot more choice, of course. But I'll leave that for next time. That's all from me today, Julian. Feel free to comment on these records. Have you got these records? Do you know these albums maybe better than I do, and have any comment on them yourself? I'd love to hear from you down below. I will leave it there for now and see you next week. Bye bye.